Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our show, NMP Talk Show. And this evening, we're continuing on our subject trauma. You can remember that we already had two sessions about trauma, and we're taking a different spin on it. This time, we have a guest that we're going to interview. In fact, she's going to tell us on how to deal with trauma using her personal experience. But as usual, I'm not alone. I'm with my co-host Figile. Figile, welcome.
Thank you, Noah, for welcoming me. Welcome everyone on NMP Talk Show. To all the viewers alive and otherwise. I've got some viewers on TikTok. We've got live viewers as well on the platform we are using today. Today it is a very sensitive topic that we are discussing, Neo. As you've mentioned that we spoke about it, we had two sessions already about it, and today we've got Sister Thandi Maqubela, who will just give us an overview of trauma because she experienced it. We did actually change the setting. It's not going to be an interview. It will be her telling us what went on in her life and how did she conquer. Sister Tandy, welcome.
Welcome, Sister Ni.
You are muted, Sister Tandy. Welcome.
Oh, sorry, I need to unmute her.
You the one
There
Yes, I
you
muted.
can see
go. There you
that.
go.
There you go.
Thank,
Welcome, Sister Tandy.
yeah, welcome. Thank you very much, Fikile. Thank you very much, Neo. I welcome everyone who is on board today. Yes, last time we were talking about a different type of trauma. It was general. We were just talking about the general. That was the past 2 weeks. But this
Yeah,
week, I will be specific. I'll talk about myself, the trauma which happened
that's true.
That
to
will be nice. It is nice hearing it from the horse's mouth. You know,
Horse's mouth.
hearing people saying, I've experienced trauma, or people who've never experienced it or who are not aware that they've experienced trauma, talking about it doesn't really help out. But because today we want to help others out there, you went through it yourself. So you're going to talk about yourself. Please tell us, Sister, what is it that you went through?
before I tell you, you're traumatizing me more. You're calling me a horse.
I mean the literal horse. I don't mean that one. I mean like it is from you,
I
Okay.
think
from yourself.
Figile, we need to make a disclaimer here. NMP show do
Please.
not describe or subscribe to the thoughts of Figile calling Sister Ndi a horse.
Sandy a horse.
Yes. Oh,
Thank you.
yes. Oh, thank you very much. On a serious note, yes, it's obvious I went through trauma, and it was a very difficult journey. It was very painful. And
Hmm.
one friend of mine said uh, he wouldn't like his or her enemy to go through the journey I went. And yes, I'm still experiencing some trauma here and there, even today, though things are better. It started how it started. It started when I was arrested at my home in Sandton in front of my children who were teenagers that time. Uh, Police came to my house, and the two flew from Cape Town. Two or three investigators flew from Cape Town, and others drove from Cape Town to Johannesburg to arrest me.
Wow.
It was at night. I was just from a Bible study, and someone was knocking at the gate. We had two gates, and it was difficult to open those gates. So we had to open the gates from inside the house. So we didn't open gates at night. And yeah, someone said, yeah, can you open? Someone sent us. I just laughed. I said, what is this? And yeah, the gate was broken. The first gate was broken. The second gate was broken again. And then we had people knocking at the door. Then I started to be scared. My children started to be scared. I had my all my children in the house and the lady who was helping us. And yeah, then I found my siblings. I said, "There's something which is happening here. I don't understand." I just tried to press the button, the panic button, but the security company didn't come. I didn't understand then, but later I understood why they didn't come to our rescue. So being arrested, and there were many police in our property, many others on the trees, others all over the property. I remember saying to my youngest daughter, "I'm going to run away," and she said, "Mommy, they will shoot you." I said, "Why do you say they shoot?"
Yeah.
She said, "Mommy, they've got guns." I was like,
Sure.
"What?" There was
So
no gun
Sister
in the
Ndi,
house.
And how old is that
at
child
that
we're
time,
talking about,
yes,
Sister Thandi?
yeah, I was about to ask that
Kamaki,
question.
How old was that child at that time?
she was a teenager. She was not even 18.
Okay.
She was, both of them were teenagers. The eldest one at least was above 18. Both of them were teenagers. Maybe when you're
Sure.
still asking me how old were the children, it's only later I realized this was not supposed to happen even in front of my children because they were traumatized. They were traumatized big time. But to cut this whole story short, and then yeah, I was arrested. I was taken to Sentin police station, and my children were just crying. They saw me driving away with police. Look, like I said, two drove from Cape Town to arrest me, and then others flew. And yeah,
What time was it?
and
Yo,
around midnight,
Sure.
I was arrested.
that's traumatizing me as we speak. I didn't go through what you went through, Sister Thandi,
Yes,
but picturing what you went through, it's like you're telling me something that happens in the movie. And what are the
Yeah.
triggers today? I'm sorry, I know that talking about it today is triggering you, but what are the triggers when you are off air? What will be the triggers that, because we know that trauma you cannot heal, you manage it, but there will be some things that happens in your life that will trigger what you went through. Do you have any triggers?
yes, yes. Now and again, I do have. I try to deal with trauma. I don't want to put a brave face. When I see someone carrying a gun, I think back. Is he coming to me? Is he coming to harm me? And when my children are going through tough times, then that kills me because I know emotionally they were distressed, they were hurt. And then when I listen to news or I hear someone who is being informed that report to the police station because we want to ask you a question, and then I ask myself, why didn't they ask me to go to the police station? And
The
then
same thing,
yes, why
yes.
didn't they ask me to go to the police station? And then I will do whatever I will abide to whatever I was instructed to do. Those questions make me to like, why this drama? As if they were coming to arrest a gangster. They came to arrest me. Before we can even talk about the merits of the whole thing, the way I was arrested was so traumatic to myself, to my children, to my siblings, and to those who are still with me today, supporting me, my family, my other family, and my friends and associates. Yeah.
So now,
talking
when
about
you
that.
at the okay, when you taken to
Oh,
the
you can
police
go now.
station. All right, thanks. When you go to the police station, did they lock you up instantly, or um, it was a matter of asking questions? What happened there?
Now they came to arrest me. I was locked up instantly. I slept. I left my house in Sentin. I slept in Sentin police station that day, that night. Actually, that morning, I slept police station, and the following day, I flew to Cape Town. Let me tell you about Cape Town. I flew to Cape Town. I was, yeah, because I was told now I'm arrested. I flew to Cape Town. Then my children were left at home, obviously alone. And when I landed at Cape Town Airport, I just saw many people and photographers. I thought, oh well, maybe Obama landed. And these photographers came to me.
And you still have sense
And
of
then
humor. I miss that.
I love her sense of humor. I was about to say, you know what? I'm touched as we are talking about it, and you still have the sense of humor to narrate your story to study. We appreciate that.
I thought some VIP has landed. Oh, no, you know, man, please, it was just Obama from America has landed. The photographers were like on me. And then I had
Everyone.
a jacket, and then I covered my face. And those who came to arrest me were side by side. Yeah, then I went to the police station at the airport. So all the eyes,
Okay.
it was so embarrassing, it was so humiliating, and yeah, because I was
So
escorted as I was in the airplane.
just a quick question. Um, you said you got arrested that morning, right? You slept
Yeah,
at the police station. So did
yes.
they let you out that you can fly on your own accord, or did they accompany you on the flight?
No, I was already under arrest, so
You
the
were already
I
arrested at
was
that
already
time.
arrested in the flight. I was escorted, so I was not supposed
Sure.
to talk to
In
anyone.
cuffs, Sandy.
Come again, please.
Were you in cuffs?
No, no, I was not in cuffs.
Okay.
I was not in cuffs,
Okay.
but they were
Okay.
um, the investigators were just um, next to me all the time. Yeah, I was not in
Okay.
cuffs. Yeah,
Okay.
and then I taken to the Cape Town police station, and then I was driven to Sea Point police station. Maybe one what I can mention is that driving from Sentin police station to the airport, already the newspapers were saying something about Thandi Maqubela. And
Oh.
yes, I was scared, I was nervous, and there was no one to talk to. You know, I'm a person who communicates a lot. It's either I talk to my siblings or talk to my children, I talk to my friends. I couldn't talk to anyone. And by that time, I've been warned about certain matters. So it was a lonely journey. Yeah. Then I went to police station. Is then that fingerprints were taken, and I slept there at the Sipon police station. That's when that's how it started.
Sure. So now you in Cape Town now. You've landed, and you see the paparazzis everywhere. And then you said you were taken to the airport police station.
Yes, first they took me to the
Okay.
police station. Some of the things, actually not some, most of the things were not explained to me. And yeah, I mean, we just go there and then go out and then into the car to the Sea Point police station. Yeah. You know,
Sure.
mentioning about that, I didn't know about the legalities, what is supposed to be done, what is not supposed to be done to me. For example, mentioned about my children. I was concerned. It's only later I was asking myself again. You know, when you're asking about triggers, when I was saying, why did they arrest me in front of my children? The Constitution said we must prevent, we must protect children, we must take care of children. Didn't they consider that? Let's say, yes, I was this bad person, but what about the protection of my children? Was there a thought of like these children are always with the mother because we're always together? So I asked myself that. And when I saw my name while driving to the airport, uh, it's only later again the Constitution says you cannot mention someone's name over the radio, on the newspaper, wherever, until that person pleads. You must first go to court and say,
Mm,
yes, I've done this. No, I haven't done that. Then they can say, oh, so and so did this and this. But it didn't happen according to the Constitution. Then I started to ask, there are so many things which are happening which are not according to this Constitution. And the person who will protect me, of course, my husband, who knew law more than, I didn't know anything about law, is no more. I could only ask him. And then that's when then the studying of law cropped on my mind. Let me study this law so that I can understand the do's and the don'ts. Then I
You
started.
know, sister, you mentioning your husband being no more. I'm glad you mentioned that yourself. So now, what's going through your mind? Was it already because your husband is late? That's why this is happening, or it happened like in sync? You lost your husband, and you are getting arrested immediately after that.
Fikile, maybe let me mention, I was not arrested immediately after my husband passed away. It was almost a year that my husband passed away, and I was arrested. It was not immediately.
wow.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, many things happened. Then when I least expected, then boom, it came. Yeah. So yeah, it didn't happen immediately. When I was still trying to sort out.
Was there any implications, Sis Tandy? Now it gets even more interesting. Was there any implication that you might be arrested? You know, because I mean, if you're a suspect, even though they don't have any witness, conclude that you are one of the suspects. Was there anything that was communicated to you or being invited first, because you're saying it was a year later? Were you invited to go to the police station to issue a statement, or it was just a surprise to you when it all happened?
Something was smelling. However, when I was arrested, like I told you, I was arrested midnight. The very same day, I'm not going to mention names because
Please
No, we
don't.
don't want names.
yes, there are acts, there are this, you're not supposed
Yes.
to scandalize people, or you're not supposed to mention things you which is not supposed to be mentioned at that point in time. However, I would
Yeah.
like to mention that there will be a time where I will mention, a
Yes.
proper time, because
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
not a lie. Actually, I thought I have this. There was this letter from a legal profession, like to be specific, from a lawyer, from an attorney, who wrote a letter
Okay.
Okay.
that,
Okay.
oh, why didn't I bring it here? I didn't think about that. That Mrs. Maqubela has been arrested for murdering her husband. Not alleged,
Yeah.
for murdering the husband. Therefore,
It's already concluded.
yeah, it's already concluded. And this was a qualified person who wrote this letter the same morning. And then she must be removed as an executor. I, I was confused at that time. It's
Yeah.
confronting the murdered, is saying I must be removed as an executor. And that happened. I was removed.
So,
Yeah.
so
So that
when did
happened
the letter come? Did it come
the
before
very
the
same
arrest?
day.
The very same, the morning,
The
that
very same
midnight.
morning. Actually, it's even written that today Mrs. Maqubela was arrested for murder. It says today.
Because Sister Tandy, I just want everybody to have clarity on this one.
Yes,
When you're saying the very same morning, you told us at the beginning of the show that you were arrested in the early hours of the morning.
yes.
Mm.
So you're saying that the same time, early hours of that morning, that's when you were issued with a warrant of arrest.
No, that letter is not about the warrant of arrest. The letter is from the lawyers, right?
Oh, so everything happened in the background.
Yes.
You were not aware of anything that was happening then.
I was not aware of that confirmation that this is the allegation, you know. If I'm answering you well, Fikile, yeah. That
Yeah,
letter was
yeah, yeah.
received
I think you are answering me well because we need
Mm.
we you said you were arrested a year later after your husband passed,
almost,
and you
almost.
were arrested for you being mentioned that you the one who murdered your own husband, and it is already concluded that you murdered the husband and you are already arrested for that.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all
The
right.
emphasis was, it was, the letter was not saying alleged, it was saying
Yeah.
murder. So the moment it said that, and it's from a qualified person, I realized that's it's serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
now,
it's
how did
only
how
later.
did you mm, how did your studying law help you understand what had happened? I mean, for a layman like myself, who hasn't studied law,
Like me too,
if
no.
they come with that letter and it has a lawyer, a signature of a lawyer there, I'm defeated. You know, how has studying that
Already,
law
just to
helped?
support your question now, I
Mm.
just want to ask Sandy this. What is it that you would have done differently now? Because then you didn't know anything. So now you at least studied law. What would you have done differently that was gonna support you legally? Because we know that the truth and the legal language are totally different things.
Um, I should have acted accordingly to say this is not supposed to be done to me, or I could have voiced what was in my mind, but I couldn't because things happened so fast and I didn't know anything. So studying law helped me to go back and ask myself these questions. Why is the constitution says thus and the opposite is happening? And there's nothing
Mm.
um, which is being said to those people who do the wrong things or the unconstitutional. Yeah. For example, showing of my face or mentioning my name before I plead. The newspapers mentioned that. The photographers came. Who informed them? Is it? And I don't want to say is it done. It's not. You must first go to court, and then they can come and take photos and do all what and write stories. So it didn't happen according to the constitution. Now the question is, what do you do There's nothing I can do. There's nothing. There's something I can do, but in time, that's why I want to create awareness about the Constitution to ordinary people, to lay people who don't know the Constitution, their own right, because the Constitution is there. However, not everything in the Constitution is followed. It's worse when people think you don't know. There are many things I didn't know. Even if I can know it now, there's nothing I can do because there's little time to go back and say, why did this happen? Why did this happen? But it's just to create in future because that is my aim now since I've completed my LLB to say let's know about this constitution. When it says the Bill of Rights, you've got the right of doing this,
Mm.
it's supposed to be done like this, then people must know their rights. Not to get
All right.
into details, but the legal people must know it's very important.
All right. So
Wow.
so we
Yes,
we
now
we,
you
we
can go or go after
understand
you.
we understand yeah, that happened. But what I'm interested in knowing is because you took us on this journey from your home, the breaking of the gates and all of that to Santon police station. Was it Santon or Bryanston?
Yes, yeah,
And yeah, and then you flew to Cape Town, right?
yes,
Now, the time that you spent in prison, how were the
yeah.
conditions there for you? How did you deal with the time?
You see that when people ask me that, I said, God sometimes allows things to happen for the reason. It was painful, but I told myself I cannot stay in this pain all the time because I'm not going to be healthy. Remember, I am a professional nurse at the same time, so I had to bring that nurse back to say, to survive in this situation, what do I do? I need to try to be healthy. I took it to, I just told myself, this is sabbatical. Sabbatical, everything has been taken from me. It mustn't be a grave. Yes, when they put you in prison, you are in grave. I was in the grave, but at least I could still breathe. So I said asked myself, what do I do with this breath I have? Let me study. I remember when I was found guilty, I thought I'll be found guilty and then I'll say, then can I go home and then I'll come back to be sentenced? No, I was found guilty that day. I drove myself to court and with family, drove myself, and then all of a sudden you can't drive back home. And then I was thrown into prison that time. In 2 weeks' time, I was supposed to write constitutional law. In 2 weeks' time. And I refused not to write. And I thank the prison authorities, they allowed me to go and write. I was escorted to the center because I couldn't change now the address to say my address now is prison. It was too late for the university to change that. So I was taken to the place to write, escorted, not handcuffed, but there were officials around me. Then, yeah, I wrote constitutional law, which I passed. That's why I take it, it's my duty to create awareness of this constitution. Maybe while I'm still talking about constitutional law, which I passed being in prison about 2 weeks, spent 2 weeks in prison, advocate, you see, advocate or doctor or professor, I don't know now, Tuli Matonzel. I don't know, we don't know each other.
think it's Prof. Madonzela now.
Yes, it's Prof. Madonsela now. I don't know
Yeah.
Prof. And she used to. I learned a lot from Thandi Maqubela because she used to be on the radio now and again and talk about this constitution, about this subsection, about this paragraph, about. And then I learned a lot. Then I developed to understand it because now the theory, I'm working the theory of this constitution. I'm just no, the practical, I'm sorry, the practical. So she made me to understand more about the constitution. That lady knows the constitution. And then I developed to like it and to understand it because I didn't understand it, how it's tailored. Yeah. Then
You know,
other.
another thing I wanted to, I'm gathering on your story now. You are already far from you being arrested. Now, what are the losses that you had? You know, any financial loss?
Yes.
Obviously, you lost your time. You lost time with your
Emotion.
children. But what other losses that we don't really take into consideration when you are going through such situations?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Fikile. I'm from a very neat family. You know, we are siblings. We seven at home, and I lost just to be with my sisters, my brothers, to be with my parents. I lost um, to be to to serve God the way I wanted to serve God. I'm a business person. I am an entrepreneur. Thanks to my husband who allowed me to develop myself business wise. I thank him very much because he didn't restrict me when I was having the ideas of businesses. I was missing that because I used to juggle a lot and try to survive in an honest way, bringing money home. So I miss that a lot. I miss just to be active, just to be myself, because now you must be collected and just think about this day journey you are being led to take. And I miss my children,
Wow,
and I miss my children so much. And it was
I can
painful.
imagine, Sis Tandy. You know what? Another thing I wanted, I'm gathering in this is that you were already in business at that time. In some of the researches and theses I've read, uh, another one of mine, I never actually, I wish I met you before I wrote it because we know that some businesses will never survive if the driver is not there. And how about your business? What happened to it?
They cry.
Sustainable? Did it fail? You had to come back and pick up. What happened?
Figile, it was messy. They crumbled. They were destroyed. My businesses just were destroyed. And it was
Not was it because you were there, you were not there, or was it because of the everything that was going on in your life?
I think both. I think both. Because
Okay.
most of them I was the driver. And the other thing I had associates. So though that they didn't say it, they couldn't say it. But how do you associate yourself with a person who is in prison for this? You know, so the attitude from business associates was like, okay, thank you very much. It's okay. We'll see you next time. So it was because I was not there to drive or to reason or to strategize. And the attitude of people, maybe when I'm mentioning that, even attitude of friends, you know, people I thought were friends were like, hmm. So people confirmed whatever they were listening, whatever they heard. And yeah, so yeah,
If you know, I like you bringing that. I think that's another trauma we both we
We all
experience
go
in
through, yeah.
life. People, yeah, I mean, one way or the other, even if it's not your situation, what is it? What advice can you give me as your friend today? What is it that I will
That you've
say,
learned, yeah.
assume made you lose the friendship? Because I do believe that if we are friends, I have to be there for you, whether it's good or bad. But now, what advice will you give me as Sister Tandi's friend today?
Fikile, to answer that, at first, I was very angry to friends who just dumped me. Because if I decide to have a friend, I just become a friend. You know,
Yeah.
um, people who know me, they will tell you who were my friends. And when they like dumped me, I was so it was so painful. I was angry. But I thought, no, when Jesus was arrested, persecuted, prosecuted, Peter, who was very close to Jesus, he said, I don't know you. I don't know you from Adam. I don't know you. I've never met this man. He just said, I don't know you. And I thought,
The reason I'm asking you, Sister Andy, is that I, like during COVID, when COVID started, I think I myself, I had to limit what I'm taking in. I had to stop looking at the noise around me.
yes,
So I'm trying to figure out as to if I was your friend or if I am your friend and you are going through that. Is it advisable for me to say, look, I'm going to support her until the court proves her innocence or finds her guilty. But I'm not going to look at the social judging you as my friend. Because we know that in the news there's nothing nice. I mean, if I listen to all the noise, I will end up thinking negatively.
yeah.
So, would you say, if I am your friend today, I should avoid that, or I should just look at, okay, I mean, look at her. It
Before
looks like her. I mean,
before you
maybe she
answer
can.
that, before you answer that, Sister Andy,
Yes.
remember there's a principle, is it a proverb that says a true friend sticks closer to you. It doesn't
Yep.
matter the
To you,
condition.
yes.
So now
Yep.
I hear what you asking Figile, that I can be her friend until she's, you know, um, until the judgment comes, and then they say no, you are the guilty one. But
Yep.
even though she's been judged as guilty, we're not even gonna consider any merits, you know. But if she's accused
Yeah,
now that she's being guilty, what is my responsibility as a friend? And I guess you're asking this question
there you go.
to help in general, not in this specific situation.
Yes.
That
Not on this in this
all of us
situation.
we
I mean,
in
I wanna be. I am friends to other people out there
yeah
as well.
yeah
So, what is it that I need to do as a friend? What
yes.
is my responsibility as a friend?
So all of us, in one way or the other, we are imprisoned, either in our thoughts or
Yeah,
physically
yeah.
imprisoned. How do I become that friend that you saw that you needed at the time?
That's sister needed.
I'm going to answer that. I'm going to comment on that in this way. Um,
Yeah.
I know who is a friend today,
Okay.
and I'm not angry to people who dumped me. I'm not, because again, like Jesus said, they don't know what they are doing. And those days, even in Jesus' time, people had this thing of fear. There's fear. There was this fear. My friends didn't. Those friends who dumped me didn't want to associate themselves with me. Not maybe because they didn't like me or love me, It was this fear because there were powerful people who were like, huh, if this powerful person is saying this about Thandi, how am I seen being close to this person? So
Yeah.
it was that fear,
Association.
fear.
So you agree with Mrs. Tandy? I just want to clarify that you agree with me to say that you know what I don't want to hear the events from you.
Yes,
I just need to be there
yeah,
for you
yes,
as my friend.
yes,
I don't have to listen to the noise around
mm,
me. I have to support you as my friend,
as my
not listening or viewing other people out there to say, if this person is saying this, then you get easily influenced. You forget that this is your friend they're talking about. Somebody you will take your kids to sleep over, and now this is what's happening. And now you're already making judgment based on the noise around you. So do agree with me to say, if I am a friend, I need to support you as a friend and not listen to the noise around me.
precisely, precisely. When I was in Portsmouth prison, there is, I don't judge people. I have associates and friends all over. Again, I'm not going to mention name. There's this minister who happened to visit me in prison. I was like, huh? That minister was not afraid to come and talk to me and visit me. And she said to me, "You must go home. You must get out of this place. You must go home." I wasn't that close to that person, but we know each other. Then I realized who is a friend. Even today, when I hear the minister saying something on the TV, my hat off to that minister to say, You are amazing." I mean, a minister wouldn't want to be seen being associated with this type of a person who was this Thandi Maqubela. But people are different. I respect that minister and the family. I'm not going to say a she or a he, but that was amazing. So I had few friends, but let me mention they helped me for drifting away because then they gave me time to think, to be with my God, to think, to be with my books and think. No, um, they say when you drive alone on the freeway, you get to your destination quicker. So they made me to get to my destination quicker because they were not there. Now I was not thinking about this one whom I expected to do this. I was just moving and sailing. At some stage, I will forget that I am in this pain. So that they helped me. So thank you very much for them dumping me because now I had to change my attitude. You see, they say attitude makes you, attitude breaks a person. So I had to talk to my
Yeah.
attitude. Hey, attitude, what must I do now? You see. And the other thing I will mention to you, yes, there was trauma. Reading the Bible, when you read the Bible, I think it's Second Corinthians 4 verse 9. It mentioned that yes, I felt persecuted, I felt abandoned, but I wasn't knocked down. I wasn't knocked down. You know, yes, there were no friends, but I could see that Jehovah is there with me. Then what do I do with the strength that God gave me? Again, when you go to the book of Second Corinthians 1, verse 3 and 4, it says, God comforts us, not to be proud, not to talk about ourselves all the time, but to go and comfort other people. So, with the strength Jehovah gave me to go through, I am in a position to comfort other people. And I become happy
Are
when,
doing today.
until today, that's why I love Jehovah. I love God so much. When, when you look at the Table Mountain in Cape Town, it's beautiful, but it's difficult to climb it. So I'll say, God allowed me to climb that Table Mountain. Yes, the court was in Cape Town. God allowed me to climb that Table Mountain with my high heels, climb that Table Mountain right up to the top. If God can allow me to do that, let me help other people who are having pain. So I understand pain differently today. When someone is saying, I've got this pain and this pain, I just take that pain to be with me. Maybe talking about the pain, I felt bad because when things were still rosy, when my bed was just full of roses. One good friend of mine, she is still a friend of mine today, told me, Thandi, I've got a problem with my child. The child is into drugs. I did hear, it went in here, boom. I listened, okay, awesome, sorry. And when now I was going through this pain, I said, I didn't take care of that friend. I didn't ask again, how is it? Can I go with you to the clinic? Can I do this? I, I was not a good friend to her. And I'm happy that she's still my friend. At least today I can ask things. I can associate. We can talk as mothers and we can talk about like our children. And so it taught me to care more when a person is saying, I've got this pain. And then I said, come, let's go together.
So, yeah, thank you for that. So now, we clearly can see that your coping mechanism was clearly being close to God. How are your children coping with all of this? Are they coping?
Yeah, no, they are trying. They are, uh, it's difficult to explain. I've got supportive children. Sometimes I go to court, and when I look back, they color would only be my
Mm.
children. And I'll look back and then I'll write notes and so that they can read what I've written to them. They'll be there. They will come to court. They will miss exams. And they were supportive. They mothered me, but they mothered me. I think they didn't have an option, but it shows that being a mother when you are not a mother can affect your emotions, your psychology. So they are not well. They are not okay. When you ask me about that question, then I ask myself, please allow me to say this. Here I was, okay. This is a person who is bad, who did this. He's arrested. She's arrested. She's sentenced to this and this. She's rotting in jail. The father is not there. I ask myself one question: where were other women? Today,
Ugh.
when 10 children passed away, people will take podium and say, we must take care of children. I said, where were they? Why didn't they take care of my children? To take them to psychologists then, or to say, what did you eat today, or at school, or none of the people I hear taking podiums and to say we must take care of children, none of them took care of my children. So they were alone. They are brave children. They are struggling, but they are getting there. And I'm sure with the help of
Sis
God,
Thandi,
they will get there.
thank you, Sis Thandi. Mentioning that, I mean, I'm not only looking at your children. We know that there's so many orphan children. Not only, at least you were arrested, you were not gone. You were able to come back to your children, and you can see today that they are not coping. We've got orphan um, children who become parents to their siblings today. And the same thing, the same support that you are talking about, not there for them. We don't even know that they are there.
Yeah, no, that is so true. Yo, thank you for all those remarks or experience that you shared. And
Yes,
maybe for our audience, the reason why we had this show this evening is to show that we're not immune to trauma. We're not immune to going through tough time, and each one of us go through their own measure of trials. But there's always a basic line that one need to consider or to look at. We've seen that she she relied on reading. She relied on meditation. She relied on her relationship with her God. And that's very critical that when you're going through such, do not isolate yourself. Yes, you might be angry at people, but the quicker you forgive, the better you deal with the situation. And I think this is what you've done. At least what I've noticed what you've done, Sis Thandi, that your cause now was being forgiving and moving on. So, what would you say to everyone that's experiencing any kind of trauma or any kind of injustice? How can you, with your experience, motivate them?
allow yourself to go through that pain. Allow yourself to go through that pain. Allow yourself to go through that anger. Most of the time you say, "No, I'm not angry. I was angry, very." But allow yourself to go through that grief. Allow yourself to go through all those emotions. I I I cry a lot, and when I cry, I want to be alone. Um, I'm a health. I used to run half marathon. I used to run then, but now with age, I just walk. I will walk about 15 kilometers a day. I'll just walk. And when I'm walking, sometimes I'm crying, sometimes I'm praying, maybe I'm thinking about those who are having pain. And when I walk, I just have a pen and a paper. I leave my phone at home. And then I will write what I'm going to do to help those who are going through what I went through. So, my advice is go through that pain. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to be angry, be angry. If you want to beat that wall,
Well,
beat
one
it.
thing I'm
But
gathering
go
as well,
through
Sister
it.
Tad, is that
That
you
grief,
you were at
you
peace.
know, there's
Yeah.
no
You accepted
prescription
the sooner
period
you
of
accepted the
grieving.
situation, you became
Allow
at
yourself
peace,
to grieve
and that's
for a
why
long
you were
time
able to
if you
think
if
positive
you are
about the
grieving.
situation,
And
even though it
I
wasn't
see
a nice
myself healed.
experience, even though you still experience the
Yes, I
same
feel
trauma
myself
again.
healed because you know what? There are people who are doing things, the so-called friends. And maybe most of it, not most, sometimes I'm in the mall and I see them. They run away. They take short left. You know what I do? I follow them. I say, "Hi, how are you?"
Why are you torturing
I say,
people?
"Ukai Musadi, Ukai Musadi, how are you? How is home? How are children?" Because I want to relieve them. I just want to say, I can
Mm.
still talk to you, but yeah, don't come closer, but it's fine. Don't run away from me. So most of the time they run
We
away.
can just greet each other and
Let's
pass.
greet each other and pass. It's fine. You don't have to be close to me. I'm fine. I tell you, I'm better than before I was arrested. I do believe in resurrection. When I was put in prison, I was dead and I was resurrected. So I was
Hmm.
resurrected with a personality which is different. I'm stronger than before. Nothing will break me. Absolutely nothing. I would like to mention that, Martin Luther King once said, there comes a time when silence is betrayal. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. I never used to talk a lot, but now I talk because it's healthy. I'm in the process of writing a book. That's when then I will mention things which I will be responsible for them. I will mention,
Yeah.
but I must do them right. I must mention that during my LLB study, one of my elective was media law. So I took modules which will help me. So I studied media law because I want to know about the Film and Publication Act. What am I supposed to do? What am I not supposed to do? What am I supposed to
Mm.
say? And what am I not supposed to say? So I will. I'm in the process of writing the book. It's taking me forever. Where I'll just put everything and then ask for legal opinion so that I mustn't go to prison again.
Food at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Once bitten, twice shy, hey?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm.
I can't wait to read your book. It sounds interesting, and listening to you actually today is I'm learning. I've learned since we started the show to say that I need to be a better friend. I
Yeah,
need to be understanding. I need to be considerate and accepting a situation and knowing that I'm not the only one going through that
yeah.
situation. Some are experiencing more than what I'm
Yeah.
experiencing. It's actually gonna build me to be a better person
Yes.
tomorrow, to be a better friend tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
And also forgiving, hey?
Yes.
I think that
Yes,
doesn't help the other person more than it helps you. I mean,
it
it
helps
starts by
you. Yes,
you
that's true.
healing
That's true.
first by forgiving.
Yeah. Somewhere in the Bible is written, if you think about that person all the time, it's like putting coal on your shoulders, red coal on your
Yeah,
shoulders. That
hot
person
coal.
is
Yeah,
doesn't even know that that's how you
You are
feel.
angry with them.
So remove these burning coals on your shoulders and move on and just
move
move.
on.
And yeah, it's amazing how, and have faith if you believe in God. Just have faith that there is nothing God cannot handle. Matthew 19, verse 26, he said, with God, everything is possible, but with men, nothing is possible. So it's not to depend on men. I think many people thought, oh, he's going to depend on us. I don't depend on any person. I don't depend
Mhm.
on any person. I just kneel down, pray, and say, God, now which direction must I take? And that's it. Don't depend on people. People will disappoint you. Like them, talk to them. And I'm so grateful that I like them. I talk to them. Yeah, it's fine. But talk to your God if you believe in God on a daily basis. You'll be amazed the wisdom. James 1, verse 5, those who lack wisdom must ask, and God gives. You ask from God. God, now I don't know how to. I'm not wise, but I ask from God.
Wow,
Well,
I'm looking at the time and I see our
thank you
producer
so much.
reminding us. Any closing that you've got, Sister Tandy, any
Yeah,
closing statements that you can give us today?
Um, any statement I would like to give that never wait for a perfect moment. Just take a moment and make it perfect.
thank you.
Make
Wow,
it
that's
Tigile,
the
profound.
moment perfect. It's not gonna come. Just
I mean, Sister Tandy, I cannot actually shadow Sister Tandy. She said it. That's profound. We'll go with hers.
thank you.
thank you
That's me in
ever
close.
so much,
Thank
everyone.
you, our
Thank you,
viewers out
Sis
there as
Tandy.
well.
Thank you, Sis Tandy,
Thank you.
for accepting our invitation to come to the show. You have elaborated, and we know what happened, and
Maybe we must
we
mention.
taking.
No, sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll just
very
mention
sorry.
now.
I'm very
Yeah.
sorry. I'm very sorry to be rude. The, with time, I'm going to have exclusive show,
Yes.
exclusive.
Yes.
Yes,
But then we'll mention how that is
yes.
going to be. Yeah.
We
Exactly.
have to
You
unveil.
you
Yes,
took words
yes.
out of my mouth.
Oh,
So thank you.
thank you.
So there will be an exclusive show, and in future you'll be told when it would be and how to access it. But for now, we just wanted to have a clearer picture, a big picture of what had happened to her, how she's dealing with it. I mean, we see her every now and then, and we're just wondering how she's doing. Maybe we even afraid to ask, what happened,
Yeah.
but and it could also be stressful that every one of us will be asking, so what had happened? So she has to repeat all of that over and over again. So we thought
Right over
this
again.
platform could serve that for her. And with the exclusive show, then she will divulge whatever she needs, as she says, that she will be accountable for. But thank you so much, Sister
For
Andy.
everything.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
as well, my co-host Figile. Without you, I can't do it. Yeah, but thank you,
I
thank you.
know, I know. And without you, there's no show.
Yeah,
thank
we do need
you.
each
And
other.
without our viewers, again, thank you very much at home
Yeah,
for accessing our talk show today.
yes,
And
yeah,
if you came in the middle of the talk show, you can watch it on YouTube.
yeah,
After this, our host is gonna upload it on YouTube, and you
yeah,
can just get the whole story of Sister Thandi Maqubela on what she went through, how she survived. And this should be a learning platform for others, because there are people out there who are going through the similar predicament that Sister Thandi
yeah.
has gone through. Maybe this will help her. I mean, it is good for all of us.
Yes.
Thank
So the
you.
YouTube channel is Get Informed to Get Informed TOO. So please like and subscribe the channel, YouTube channel. Whenever we have shows and we're uploading them, you'll be notified of the content. So thank you ever so much. We'll see you next week with another topic. Hopefully you'll join us, and that time you'll have a chance to comment and ask questions. We just didn't want to have questions this time. We leave that for the exclusive
No.
show. All right, this is Neo Morapedi, and we're signing out, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
See you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Thandi. You have a wonderful evening.
You need internet and you need physical.
You want it.